quite the little snowstorm this morning. It's coming down pretty good. I'm not sure if you guys can see it or not, but it is coming down. I'll show you some of my security cameras up here, because my security cameras can pick it up a lot better. And then over here, we got some snow coming out. And it's definitely sticking to the ground. My truck's covered. Today is what, the 8th? 9th. Yeah, we got some snow. And usually it's right around the 15th of November, or the day before. But we've got it here on the 9th. Not what I'm looking for, being on a scooter and trying to get down my ramp. It's a nightmare. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind snow. It just kind of makes me nervous. And then we'll go back outside here. It's morning time. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at 5 and it was coming down. So it'll probably melt today because it's supposed to warm up a little bit. But we're supposed to get some snow tonight. I think we're under a snow advisory right now. Look at the trees. They're kind of got snow all over them. So here it comes. Okay, so in here I got 2 cups very warm water, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, half a teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 2 2/3 cup bread flour. That. Okay, so in here, just make a little well, like a little circle well. I wish I could show you guys, but you guys know, get it like a little ditch in there. And this way, the yeast that we add, now you can add 1 packet of yeast, you know, bread flour yeast, whatever. It's for bread machines. And then I've got 2 1/4 teaspoon of yeast in here. I'm going to put that right in the middle. And then we're going to go stick this in the bread machine. I'll be back. Try not to mix it around. This is the Breadman Ultimate Plus machine. And it just pops in there. You don't have to twist it. It just snaps right in there. Close the lid. And then we're going to set this for, I got to stand up here, sorry. And I hope you guys can see this. We're going to go with crust control. Nope, that won't work. Select. 2 pounds. Oh, it's only a 2-pound machine. Okay, that's my other one. Alright, and then crust control. Let's see here. Loaf size. We did that. 2 pound. And we want white, so let's see here. And program, save, erase. I haven't used this in a while, so let's see, crust control. Oh, I see. Okay. I think. So you gotta wait until this little arrow goes up to white. And they even makes jams. Now I don't see the arrow. There we go, it's on white. Okay, so it says here after baking it'll take 3 hours. Okay, so program time, we don't need all that. and then start. Now it's mixing. Can you hear it? Let's open it so you can see. Yeah. We'll let that mix for a while. Okay, next is a ham loaf. Mr. Mike, what I got here is a package of original ground pork, and it's not sausage, it's for like peppers, it's just ground pork. So I'm going to add 1 pound of ground pork in here. Let me get it open here. I guess I should have had it already. But, can you hear my bread machine working back there? It's a running. I haven't had that thing running in maybe 2 years, 3 years. I've always made my own bread. And times when I get lazy, I'll use that bread machine. And it makes, you know, if you don't have time to make pizza dough, right, that'll make pizza dough. If you don't want to heat it up in that bread machine, take it out and shape it as a loaf of bread. Or, you know, as a loaf, and put it in your oven. So, okay, now here I've got, you can use a pound of ground hamburger that you ground in the food processor, or grind in the food processor. I get this at Kroger's. It's all in its natural juices. It is a little salty. It says hardwood smoke, but I'm going to mix this in here. And you always should get a piece for the cook. That is already pre-cooked. Does ham. Down below it's not. Alright. That is good. Salty, but good. Alright. So, I got my gloves on because I am working with pork. It's just a thing. I'll get that all mixed up. Let me get this all mixed up and I'll be back. Okay, we're back. Now I'm going to add 2 large eggs. One. I got that all mixed up, and then now I'm adding 2 large eggs. You can put it in a bowl to make sure you're not getting any shells in it, but I'm pretty good at cutting it, so, or breaking them. Okay, so I got the pork. Now we're going to add some brown sugar. I got 1/3 of a cup of packed brown sugar. And then I'm going to add a little bit of pepper to this. I'm going to have to wash the lid down on the pepper. Alright. Now I'm going to add, I'm not adding no salt. Now you can add salt if you're using ham that's not salty. I'm not going to add no salt. So I need I need half a cup of milk. You can use any kind of milk, buttermilk, which I think buttermilk makes it taste a little sour, but I'm just using 2% milk. And then, let's get that out of there. And then I'm going to do some breadcrumbs. Now you probably want 1/2 cup to a cup, 3/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs. I'm just going to go by eyeball. Right there's almost 1/2 cup. I want to get this mixed up. This isn't Meat Loaf, guys, where you add all that Worcestershire sauce and you know, stuffing mix and all that stuff. And I do add stuffing mix to my meatloaf. And I watched the lady the other day. She did stuffing, and I was so happy. I thought I was the only one. You just use that simple stuffing mix. I do not put it in this, though. Alright, it's going to need more breadcrumbs. See how moist it is? And yeah, 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs. I'm feeling little chunks of, I think it's the ground pork, so I'm mushing it actually, breaking it up a little bit. It'll be good for shaping. Okay, I think probably a little bit more breadcrumbs. So right now we've got probably almost 3/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs to this. So I did a pound of ham, ground it up. I didn't grind it up, but it was already pre-ground. You can get that at Kroger's. Or just grind up your own ham. And then, so I did 1 pound of ground ham, 2 eggs, a pound of ground pork, not sausage, folks. Don't add sausage to it, you won't like it. I tried it, I've been trying different recipes for this, and I found out this is the best one. My gloves keep falling off. Okay. And then I added a 1/3 of a cup of packed brown sugar. You can do salt and pepper if you wish. I would just add pepper. 1/2 a cup of milk, and then mix it all up, and then add your breadcrumbs. And see how that's kind of shaping there? So I think I might add just a little bit more breadcrumbs. These are my homemade breadcrumbs. I use this old Kroger traditional breadcrumb thing that we used a long time ago, the kids used to use, and I make my own, fill that up with that. I just do it on my food processor, and I do it under fresh bread, heated bread, I heat it in the microwave, all different kinds of ways. I got tons in the freezer that I made up, so I gotta use that up. I wanted to use that up come Thanksgiving. Okay, so we're gonna do a pan here, non-stick pan, and we're gonna take this loaf, and this pan comes with one of them grease lifters, so you can lift it right up out of the grease, but I kind of want the flavor. Now I'm not adding no ketchup to this. It's not, like I said, it's not a meat loaf. Let's make sure we get all this goodness out of here. It's just a ham loaf. I didn't add no onions, no green peppers. Keep it simple, stupid. That's all I like, is keep it simple. I mean, like I said, I'm in the scooter. I want a simple life for right now until I get going here. Okay. I'm just gonna go down the sides here. Let's take this and see if it'll work. Yeah, I just want, that way if there's any grease I can pour out. Like I said, keep it simple. Keep it simple and stupid. I mean, it's so simple it's stupid. You know what I mean? And we're going to wind up making a topping for this and top it when it's almost done. You know, like a glaze. I keep messing with this. Alright, so there we go. What do you think about that? It's not perfect. I'm not perfect, but it looks really good. I'll just put like a little dent in here. And then next week I've decided I'm going to make some homemade McRibs. Alright. Now I really got to sterilize. Alright. There we go. Forgot to tell you, I'm going to bake this. Preheat your oven for 350, and I'm going to bake it for probably an hour, and then we'll check it. Guys, throw on the ham loaf, throw some tin foil over the top of that loaf for a half an hour, and then pull it off. So that way it don't get, you know, crusty. But that last half hour, so I'm going to stick that ham in there for ham loaf in there. I'll probably have it in there for an hour and 15 minutes. So the last half hour, you know, 45 minutes, 40 minutes, half hour, pull that off and let it get you want to make sure that pork is all the way cooked through. And I got a temperature thing. I am going to check it and make sure it reads 150 degrees. You can go 160 because I use ground pork. So 160 degree temp in the middle. All right. My bread machine's doing fine so far. In this bowl, let's see if we can get a shot here. I'm going to add 1 cup of very packed sugar. I mean, it is packed. And this is my homemade brown sugar. So that's all. Got the molasses and stuff in there. Oh, so good. So there's 1 cup. And then I need, let's see if I can find it here. Of course, I don't have it on here. I got it in the other room. So we're going to do a 1/4 cup. Actually, yeah, let's do a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Just a 1/4 cup. So this is a 1/2 cup measure here. So we'll do a 1/4 cup. Okay. That's not a 1/2 cup. The other one was a 1/2 cup. That's a 1/3. So I might just add this a little bit more to it. There we go. So you want, in here, you want a cup of packed brown sugar. You want a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. And probably a tablespoon of mustard. You can use dry mustard if you wish. And this is for the glaze of the ham loaf. You notice I'm not using no mustard. Because it is not, or no mustard, no ketchup. It is not a meatloaf. This is a ham loaf. And just mix this really, really well. I mean, you can use a whisk if you wish. I've got a whisk right up there. I'm not using it though. Because it's dirty more dishes. I don't mind doing dishes. I enjoy doing dishes by hand. For the simple fact is I know they're clean and they're not going to come out spotty. And now I do use, what's that new stuff they come out with? I put that in the dishwasher, and we use that only for holidays. We have like almost 63 people that come here for dinner. So we cook turkeys and hams and hot dogs for the kids. You know, the kids, they can go grab their own hot dogs. We got the buns. You know, I just keep them in a big pot, electric pot, and the hot dogs and the buns sit on top to keep warm. And they love that. That's a tradition. And then our other tradition for Thanksgiving is we play Jenga. I think that's how you pronounce it, Jenga. And the kids love that. Everybody loves that. We all play it. And once the adults get done, the kids take over. So there's our glaze. It looks really nice. I mix it until you don't hear that gritty stuff no more. That sugar. So, and that's exactly what I did here. You can barely hear that grit. That's the bottom of my bowl scraping now. And what I'll do when it's ready, I'll mix it again. So I want to save this spoon. Put that right there. And then I'm going to cover this until it's ready to add. So I'll just throw this towel over it. Cover it with a bonnet or whatever. Okay, folks. I checked the temp and we're at 169. I'm going to put this glaze on here, and I'm going to put it back in the oven for about 15 minutes. So I'm just going to cover this all up and let that build up on that crust in there. And it's got that mustard in there, yum. I'm not going to put it all on there. I'm just going to put most of it. So I only got a little bit left. Alright. We're going to go stick this back in the oven for 15 minutes. Well, there it is,
I
folks.
freaked out.
The ham.
Huge fan.
I tried a bite of it. Oh, it's so good. And then the bread.
So weird, I wasn't expecting
And I made a salad.
It just was not anything that
Salad
I
fit for a
imagined
king.
today.
And it's got, I like buttermilk ranch, but I'm using wishbone today because it was easy for me to get to. So, but there you go. Good dinner tonight.
I want you to know that there truly is a dress.
Oh, I'm gonna try.
This is also about
Yummy.
knowing that I can be with you
Bread's
when
good.
you get married.
It's kind of a sweet bread. You don't need that sugar in there, but I did. It was my way of getting the kids to eat. They're too skinny.
I mean, I wanted to tell everybody, but I wanted to tell her, and because I couldn't tell her, it made me
My
not
grandson,
tell anybody.
he's actually seeing a doctor to find out why he's so skinny, and he eats like a horse.
Going wedding dress shopping, and knowing that
Try a little bit of the salad.
for that.
Actually, I already did, but it's got romaine lettuce in it,
That was hard.
and that is, I love romaine lettuce.
So do you go back and say, if I
I
would
put onions, tomatoes,
I would have spent more time with her?
cheese, talking with my mouth full, and romaine lettuce.
She shows me my similar.
And I was going to do mushrooms, but I want to save them for the steak
Oh
tomorrow.
my God, if I thought that she was going to.
Have a good day.